Thank you for joining us. You're listening to the St. John's Farmers Market Radio Almanac. This is a show about business and market culture in and around St. John's, Newfoundland. This program is produced and recorded at CHMR FM 93.5 FM in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, and is aired on other great stations in the province and elsewhere in the country. It can also be heard online at www.chmr.ca. I'm your host, Matthew Ledrew, owner and operator at Engine Books, the province's fastest growing independent publisher of books.
Thank you for joining us for another special episode of the St. John's Farmers Market Radio Almanac. I am here with Janine McDonald, one of the fine people who works with Cheerio Creations, one of the wonderful businesses at the St. John's Farmers Market. Absolutely lovely. It makes these lovely crocheted and knitted toys and creatures and keepsakes and sometimes wearable things and just all these wonderful things that my goddaughters absolutely die for, kind of thing. Thank you for joining us, Janine.
Nice to be here.
Yes, I agree. Janine, what does success for your business look like for you?
Maybe a little bit different than other people. Obviously, we always like to sell our products because, that's the whole point. We don't want to make things and not make money. I mean, that's what you do. Every dollar helps. It supports my family. It pays for things for us that, my insurance doesn't cover for my daughter. That's kind of, again, circles back to why I started it to begin with. And, success for us, I think, is I like it when we meet a customer who has a family member or a child with exceptionalities. And I get to talk about my daughter. I get to talk about, offer them assistance or help. And because on the side, I also work with a lot of non-for-profits too.
Okay.
And, with children with disabilities and things like that. So our success is knowing that if every time we do a show, that one or two people walk away with a better appreciation of what we do, and even, a like to one of our pages that we recommend, or, or someone smile that day, that's success to us, because that's why we do it,
Lovely. Perfect. Janine, if you could tell your younger business person self any one thing, what would it be?
No idea. Should have started this earlier.
That's good.
I don't know. Maybe learn a little bit more about the social media part. Sure. We're not really as good at doing keeping up with the social media aspect or the advertising aspect as much. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We're not good with the online stuff. Maybe my younger self should have said, maybe we should try to apply ourselves a bit more in that computer department, or, things like that. But, I think we've been successful so far. I think we've done something right.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely have. What is a product that you have stopped featuring at Cheerio Creations, and why?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything we stopped making. I don't think I think we just make things as they come, and it's not so much stopping things because we don't want to make them. Is sometimes it's demand of the products and stuff too, right? Like some things are just not in demand. Some things are in demand. I don't think there's anything I really stopped to make because it wasn't, for no reason type thing.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. What is your work kryptonite? If you are working away and this thing happens, you are done working at that point.
So far, it's a puppy.
Oh.
So far, it's this little thing of my daughter. No, actually, funny enough, obviously I work with a lot of cotton, a lot of wool. I've bent a lot of hooks, a lot of crochet hooks. Cotton is not easy to work with. It's tighter, it's harder. I'm not going to lie. I've paid a good penny for some pretty good hooks, and I've bent them, and I'm done. Like my hook bends, I get frustrated. I'm like, oh my God, not again. And I give up. And or if I swallow a piece of cotton, usually, I always have a drink. So when you're cutting off little ends of things, you end up getting little pieces of wool and cotton everywhere.
That does not sound pleasant, Janine. Oh
Usually
my
when that
God.
happens, we're done. We're done.
Yeah. They're gonna have to operate on you. There's gonna be like one of those Goyers, you know what I mean? Like when they pull hairballs out of people, but it's gotta be a cotton ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is an interesting one for you. Janine,
Okay.
this question presumes that magic is real. Okay.
Okay.
You're walking through the woods, you're
Mhm.
walking through an enchanted forest, and you see a tower there. It's a sorcerer's castle, and he's out. He or she is out right now. You go in, and the sorcerer had stepped out. They were mid spell. There's a cauldron brimming with stuff, and you pour in. Don't know why. You just get possessed, and you pour in all of your work with Cheerio Creations, the flowers, the animals, the terrariums, all that stuff. You pour it in there, and the cauldron explodes, and an animal pops out that's made up entirely of your business, everything with your business. What animal is popping out of there?
I have no idea. I really don't have any idea. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'll pop out of there. I've made some strange stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
See, now I'm picturing like some kind of horrific monstrosity made up of all your animals, where it's like it's part turtle and part dove and part this and part that, and it just comes out.
I've made like mermoose and like half moose, half mermaids. I've made stuff like that. I've made things like that. I've made little pixies and fairies, and
Yeah. Okay.
But not saying I don't believe in magic. I believe in magic. I'm
not gonna get into this debate.
I believe I like that stuff. I actually collect wizards. So
Okay. All right. Janine, what is the best money that you ever spent to grow your business, Cheerio Creations? Can be anything, could be a pencil, could be something expensive, just as long as in your head you were like, I'm using that for my business.
Really? I just like the fact that we made our own sign that we got the sign for our table featuring like pictures of our own products.
Yeah.
Not like your generic, Vista print sign or whatever else that other people you would see like going to different shows when shows are really popular.
Yep.
You see everyone with like the same type of signs. When we made our sign, it has 3 pictures, one of our plants, one of our mummers, which we do little tiny mummers.
Yep.
That were featured actually in Amory Coast Museum of Fiber Art one year, and our pets. So when you look at our sign, it's very unique because it's not like anyone else's, and a lot of people look at our sign, and I like that because it's our sign, and it's unique to us. So and our stands, like when we made our stands for our table and stuff, like I like having those things stand out. But the sign was definitely a big thing for me. I enjoyed making the signs. Yeah, okay. The sign.
Excellent. Janine, what kind of research do you do, and how long do you spend researching something before you change something with your business, either on the back end or a new product or whatever?
We spent a few hours, I got to say, because we want to do things that people aren't doing. So we want to stay, like you said, like again, so with our products, we try to do things that are different and unique. So I always look into what local businesses are doing. I try not to do what other people are doing.
Yep.
When we first started, when we and see other people away making them, but we were the first people here to introduce a lot of the things that the concept here. Yep. And like put our own version, our own spin on it type of thing. So we were the first people here to do that. And I spent a lot of time like looking at other businesses online, even away. just to see what other people were doing or what wasn't done here. And I try to do that as well. I try to keep up with all new businesses. I try to keep up with events that are going around and stuff like that. I used to organize an event for 6 years, actually. That was very popular. Claire's Craft Fair.
Okay.
Actually, you can actually Google it. We were in the Herald 3 or 4 years.
Nice.
We were in the Herald, the Telegram, the Down Home. There's articles about Claire's Community, my other site, and about the events we used to organize.
Yep.
And I do spend a lot of time looking at what other people are doing because we don't want to do the same thing. We want to be different.
Yep. Makes sense. Janine, how did monetizing your craft change your craft? Did it alter it a bit when you turned it into a business, and how so?
Well, obviously, like any business, you got to account for materials. As things got harder to get, we had to order away. We couldn't buy locally, like say our wool or our cotton and things like that. So, I mean, we had to, but we also had to accommodate our prices for where we're to.
Yeah.
I know if you go online like Etsy and those stores, you can see people doing similar items charging quite a lot more than what we do. I mean, we have to make a profit, but we also know that our local economy is not going to be able to afford a certain price range as well. So we try to adapt to A, make money, and B, be able to make our products still affordable as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. Let's see. Janine, if you didn't do this, what would you do to scratch this same itch? Whatever in your life that this scratches, what would you do for your art or for your activism or whatever? Like what would you do if not this?
Well, beside this, I do run a non-for-profit. I am the vice president of the Cerebral Palsy Association, Newfoundland Labrador.
Well then.
I volunteer with the CNIB. I volunteer on behalf of Easter Seals. So I'm actually pretty busy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my itch is scratching, but on a personal level, I still cook on the side for, friends and family. Not more professionally, but I still do it on the side and help people out. And I do prepare meals for my my mother-in-law who's disabled and other people like that. So I do still do things. I just don't do it for business. I kind of do it more just on the side and just to keep myself busy.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
To me. What is the strangest or funniest experience that you have had at the farmers market?
So this gentleman came to our table first year we were there.
Yep.
And he slipped us a note, and he slipped a note and it wasn't a phone number, it was a weird number. Anyway, never thought nothing of it. When he came back around, he was there like all day. He told us how much he loved our stuff. And the next thing I knew, he had his hand in his pocket and he had a handful of sprinkle of like glitter and went, just flick glitter on us. I have no idea why. And that was it. That was the end of it. I have no idea why. I really, to this day, have no idea what happened. Like we kind of sat there going, what?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, and I don't know what this number was because it wasn't a phone number. It was like this really long number. Yeah. And he was back numerous times. It was our first year. I actually at one point thought it might have been a test or something. Is this real?
Yeah. Yeah. Is this real life?
Show?
Yeah.
So that was pretty strange, actually.
That's very strange. That goes
was
up
a
there.
Pretty strange thing. Yeah.
Yeah. The next question is a bit of an odd one. And it's the person who did it required was like no explanation, just answer kind of thing.
Okay.
Your life can contain one of only two of these things forever, either comfort or potency. Pick one.
Comfort?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Sure. That was Janine at Cheerio Creations picking comfort. Yep. I forgot to say your name at the beginning.
That's good.
Janine, if you could trade tables with someone else for a day, to vend at their table and sell their product, who would you want to do that with?
Well, I've kind of already done that for numerous vendors where it's always me, my mom. I always help out other people anyway. I'm not going to lie. I've worked numerous tables. I've worked numerous spots.
Yeah.
I don't have a particular favorite. I'm not going to lie. I love Spindrift. I just love her table.
Yeah.
I just love her marshmallows. Yeah, I just love her marshmallows. I would do her table for a day.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. There's something about like her marshmallows are comforting. Her table alone. I enjoy Monica's table.
I think I would do yours. There was an experience I had at a very early market, like before farmers market, before anything else, just when we were at the sci-fi convention. And I was there with my little sister. I think she was 6. She's 20 now. So that'll give you an idea about how long ago we're talking. And she had picked up these little figurines, and it was slow. So I was there, and I was putting on a little play with her with the figurines, just having them talk to each other and stuff like that. And when I looked up, she was just giggling away, and she could see behind me. And when I looked up, there were like a crowd of people who were watching this play that I was putting on, like about 20 people, and they all started to clap, and then we're like, more and more. I'm like, okay, and they all bought a copy of the book, and it was super cute and fun. And there's a part of me that just wants to be at your booth with the kids and do that and just be like, okay.
And I enjoy. I do enjoy that. I do enjoy when the kids come and play. I know when your goddaughters come over, they always. I look for them coming over because they set things up.
Yeah.
In a certain way. Yeah. And I quite enjoy seeing how they set things up.
Yeah.
Like how they organize the little dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy watching when they do that.
They're very imaginative. Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
And is there a question you would like me to ask you or ask other people that are going to be on the show?
You know what I'd like to know? I like to hear, actually. I like to know a little bit more about people's heritage.
Okay.
I think it's a nice side. Like, for example, when I explained about where my parents were from, and my background, because my background obviously plays into what my name is. I was born in Newfoundland, but I like knowing about other people, like knowing a little bit more about them personally, because I find it makes me more curious, obviously, or just a little bit know where they're from.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like to know I like to know a little bit more about people's heritage. Okay. Where you're from, or or if they're obviously inclined to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just true of all the questions.
A little bit more about people, like where are you from, or what's your background, or it's nice to know a little bit about a person. Sometimes it explains their business too, right?
That sounds nice. All right. Okay. Oh my God, that's so much fun. All right. Cool. New respect. I always liked it, but like new respect. That's awesome. Fun stuff. Janine, if you were trapped on a desert island for the rest of your life, what 3 books or movies would you want with you?
Well, movies. Okay, so this is totally up. I love Reservoir Dogs. Love it. Right. I'm a little bit of books. I actually like the Anne Rice books, the Vampire Chronicles and the Witching Hour. I actually really enjoyed them. I've read them numerous times. I don't know, just something about them that I can go back and read them. Let me see. Another movie that we really liked, I've watched, Beaches.
Okay. All right. Can I ask you a question about the Anne Rice stuff?
Sure.
Okay, so I read them for the first time last year. My first book last year was Interview with a Vampire, and it blew me away. I'd long loved the movies and stuff like that, or the first movie and stuff like that, and was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, and
I didn't like the movie.
I liked the first one, but yeah, and I think I just watched it at the right age. You know what I mean? But yeah, okay, so read it, loved a lot of the themes, loved the subtext, all wonderful. Picked up the second one. I have never been so like just this big boom drop in like how much I liked something to dislike something from a first one to a second one.
Yeah.
Is that trend going to continue, or should I pick up the third one? Because right now I'm like, nah, I'm good, Anne.
I prefer the Witching Hour Chronicles over a lot of the vampire ones. I can't remember if it's the third. I'm thinking of the colors versus the names of the books. I can't think of them offhand.
Keep talking for 1 second.
Yeah. I think it was I can't remember. There is the Vampire Lestat was pretty good. I enjoy that book. Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's a couple books that hit and miss. Like some books I kind of just read it to finish it, but there's like one or two in that series that I was like, okay, I really liked it. Now, The Witching Hour, loved them all. Every one of them, loved them all.
Yeah. What got me started there, I was on my to be read list, and then I randomly in books at a yard sale discovered a absolutely pristine hardcover first edition of
Oh, nice. Yeah.
the vampires. I was like, all right, well, I gotta read that now. That's that's just gotta happen now. Wonderful. Good stuff. Janine, what inspired, well, this one we already know the answer to, but feel free to answer it again for the question episode kind of thing.
Sure.
Janine, who inspired you to start your business, Cheerio Creations?
My daughter and my mom.
That makes sense.
And my mom's my partner. So
Yep. How so? Can you want to explain that?
Again, like I said, my mom wanted me to have an outlet to create while I was looking after my daughter. So she taught me how to crochet, obviously. And then my daughter, who enjoyed me making the stuff for her. And and it kind of just blossomed from there. And it was nice to be able to work with my mom, and it's nice to be able to do things that my daughter enjoys me doing as well. So yeah.
Excellent. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me. Janine, if you were a jam, what kind of jam would you be?
Bacon.
Bacon jam. Why do you say that?
Bacon and onion.
Okay.
Bacon, yeah, it's a good jam because not many people make it.
Yep.
It's different.
Yep.
It's sweet, but it's just good.
Yeah. Well, it's bacon. I mean,
it's bacon.
Yeah.
It's complex. It's got complex tastes going right through it. And I'm a very complex person.
Okay. All right.
That's all I can say.
All right. Janine, how did you select the name of your business, Cheerio Creations?
Well, that's actually pretty interesting too, because my mom, my partner, was actually an immigrant from Scotland. My mom was born in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my dad was Welsh. Okay. So, growing up, Cheerio was something we always said because we didn't like to say goodbye, or and hello, see you again. So growing up, we always said Cheerio, see you again. And when we started the business, we thought Cheerio would be a great name because see you again. We never like to say goodbye in our family. So, and it just seemed really fitting to say see you again because we hope to see all our customers more than once. So Cheerio Creations was kind of born, and yeah. It's not stuffed with Cheerios. At least every once a day in any event I do, I always get either the joke or the question, do you have Cheerios in your stuff?
Yep.
No, it was actually because of my family's heritage. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. That makes sense. I like it. Janine, do you read reviews of your business, Cheerio Creations? If there are any, so how do you deal with good ones or bad ones?
I do read them. I do read them if I get them. We haven't experienced a whole lot. We did have an article posted a couple years ago across Atlantic Canada, written by Didnt, which got some really good reviews. I never seen anything negative, and it was in 9 provinces, I believe. Nice. we hand out a flyer with our products, and that flyer is excerpts of that article that was written about us, which is most of the story that I've told you. We look at it as, look, we do what we do. We enjoy what we're doing. We're not like anyone else. Our story is for us, our story is more important to share sometimes than our items. We appreciate people who want to listen. We appreciate people who want to buy our stuff. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But we haven't really come across, we've been doing it this long now and really haven't come across a whole lot of not wanting to like it or not people not liking it. So I really haven't experienced good and bad, but
you'd have to be a kind of a cold soul not like, I understand not wanting to purchase one, you know what I mean, where it's like I could see myself buying the little terrarium and stuff like that for my desk and stuff like that, absolutely. But like I can understand not wanting to buy certain things, you know what I mean, like some stuff is definitely like my goddaughters are buying it and I'm not, all that kind of stuff, but like I cannot see someone being cold enough to be like, I want that, and then being like, oh, this isn't what I expected. I wanted to be filled with Cheerios or whatever.
I think people, I think when we tell our story and also how our products can be used, I think people value that a bit more, because like someone will look at our flowers and say, oh my God, they're so nice. And once we kind of tell them, like someone will say, well, why did you do this? And we explain why we started and the uses for them and that they're scent free and how a lot of the flowers you can't pick, like lupin. We do lupins, we do sun, and you can't keep them year round, and how we upcycle the pots and things like that. I think once people say, oh, okay, I didn't think of that, then they're more inclined to appreciate it a lot more.
Yep.
And the same thing when we explain our sensory pets. I mean, we do other things, like we have cotton products that you can use every day that we design for like accessibility for people who have issues. And we have like, other things, but the main two products, I think once we tell people why we make them, their value and their use, people end up saying, oh, gee, I never thought about that. That's a great idea. Or, okay, now I understand it, and they appreciate it more because then they find use for it.
Yep.
Versus thinking, what's it for? So I think that our story, that's the benefit of telling our stories, for people to see the actual value and use of them. Like we have a lot of people who buy our plants now for their mobile homes, their campers, their cabins, because then they don't have to worry about the plants every year.
Yeah.
Bed and breakfasts who use our pitcher plants on their nightstands.
Yeah.
So I think once that kind of value goes in and the use of it, I think people understand and they respect it too.
Yeah.
I think people understand and respect the work that goes into it as well.
Okay. Wonderful. Good. Janine, does your work, when you're working at Cheerio Creations at St. John's Farmers Market, at the end of the day, are you energized by that, or are you exhausted at the end of a day?
Depends on the day.
All right.
No, I think, what, I think it's great. I love work. Like I love being I'm a people person. I always was a people person, and I like being out. I like meeting people. I like talking to people. Obviously you're selling stuff. That's your job. Your job is to be at your booth, to pitch your story, to sell your products. And I mean, like any job, at the end of the day, it's a job. It's not something that I think a lot of people have to realize with local businesses that it's not something, a lot of us do this 7 days a week.
Yeah.
We have to create the products. We have to buy the materials or order the materials in. We are doing this. We set hours aside a day to work on our products. So like any job, when you do that from 9 to 5 or 9 to 4,
yep.
Like any job, you're tired, but you're satisfied too, because it's nice when you hear the comments saying, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Or when the kids come over and they love your stuff, or, it's nice at the end of the day to know that people appreciate what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Janine, thank you for so much, and thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for everything you do with Cheerio Creations. Everyone, check Janine booth out this Saturday at the St. John's Farmers Market.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on again. For all of you listening, we'll be here the same time next week to talk more about business culture in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Be sure to drop by and visit our guests and all the other vendors at the St. John's Farmers Market this week.